Hello everybody, welcome to Sam and Charlie's Playbook. I'm Sam.
And I'm Charlie.
And like I said before, this is Sam and Charlie's Playbook. This is the place where we break down the biggest plays and the hottest takes of sports. And this is also the place where we break down plays like pros.
Kinda.
Okay. So this is a big one. We have entered we are basically halfway through the semifinals of the FIFA World Cup. France versus Spain, which just happened, and then England versus Argentina, which is coming up soon.
For all my Spanish viewers out there, congratulations! You guys are in the World Cup final with Lamine Yamal.
And before we deep dive into that, let's talk about everything. Let's talk about everything that's happened up until this point. Charlie, why don't you talk about the big news that has occurred in this World Cup?
Yeah, Sam, and for the people that don't know what we're talking about the retirements of Cristiano Ronaldo and Neymar Jr. Two legends who quit international soccer, which is very sad to see here, as both legends walk away from Brazil and Portugal with no World Cup. Two of the most hyped players in international football walk away with nothing. So Sam, how do you feel about both leaving the international stage, and how do you think Brazil and Portugal will do without them?
Yeah, that is a good question. It is definitely hard to see both them leave because they've both been really fantastic superstars for both of their countries. It's definitely going to put a hole in there somewhere, kind of like how Diogo Jota when he passed away during the off season for Liverpool, and how like Liverpool did after that, not very good without him. So it's definitely going to be. There is going to be like a new shift in the team that might be good, might be bad. We don't know yet. That's the scariest part, is we don't know if it's going to be good or bad at all. So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, yeah, it's just crazy because I think these guys, including Messi, we've grown up watching these players.
Yeah,
I think like the past two generations have grown up watching these players.
Yeah.
And it's really disappointing to see both of them leave, just to see both those guys leave. But let's talk about Messi current right now. As we're on the topic, Messi hasn't announced his retirement, but Charlie, do you think that retirement is international retirement is going to happen for Messi?
I think Messi, for sure, he will retire from the international stage if, and there's a big if here, if he goes, he will know that he doesn't go out empty-handed, but if he does retire, which he more than likely will, for Argentina, I do think he's probably going to try and he's going to be there for Argentina, be there for every game, support them throughout the way, and I do think there will be a big hole for Argentina, knowing that their best player, and basically all of history besides Diogo Maradona, is gone. But I do think that this could be, that when Messi retires, I do think it could be the start of a new generation for Argentina.
For sure, yeah.
Because the players that they have, Mastantuono, in there. I mean, Martinez getting older as well. Mm-hmm. I do think a new generation of Argentine players are going to come, and they're going to do really well. And I do think, though, Argentina are going to have a big hole to fill without Messi.
Yeah, for sure. And just in same for Ronaldo and Neymar as well. Again, like three fantastic superstars, three fantastic soccer legends. It's going to be hard to see them go.
It's gonna be very sad.
Yeah, it's going to be very sad. From international. Just make sure we're on the same page. This is international talking about.
Yeah.
Not.
It's unrealistic for Neymar to retire right now, to be honest. He's only like 35.
Yeah. But I mean,
sad to see these legends go from their country.
Again, yes, it always is. So I want to actually spend a majority of our time talking about what it's been like for the USA to host the World Cup and Canada and Mexico.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely been an amazing experience.
I would say that I am gonna say this about the hosting of the World Cup for the USA. I don't think it's as good as Qatar, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Because when you look at the Qatar World Cup, iconic moments happen. Same thing for like 2018, 2014, all those World Cups. Of course, iconic moments have happened at the USA World Cup by Cape Verde, of course. But I do think the USA for the upcoming World Cups, I think they could be maybe a country to potentially try and bid for the upcoming World Cups, knowing that it was such a big success in 2022 and 2016, 2026.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And again, like I just want to give credit to this one team, because this one national team has played insanely well. And despite a tough loss, I know I'm upsetting a lot of people by saying this, but by making them think about this, but congratulations to Mexico. I think definitely, because Mexico has definitely put their heart and put the work, heart and soul, and put the work in to make sure they could go as far as they possibly could. And
yeah, Mexico. I'm not gonna lie, you guys did amazing, to be fair, but I do have some worries for you guys going into the next World Cup. First up, Raul Jimenez. He's getting old. Santiago Jimenez, not the best of strikers to be starting, but I do think though Mexico, they could be maybe a dark horse at the next World Cup if things go their way. But the one thing that's going to let them down though is they're not going to be playing at the Azteca anymore for the next World Cup.
Yeah.
If they qualify.
Yeah, for sure. So because Canada, USA, and Mexico kind of like host it, let's talk about how each team's did. I know we kind of talked about this with Mexico a little bit, but let's go into more depth and talk about Canada and USA and also Mexico.
Yeah, I'll start off with that. First up, let's talk about Canada. They did pretty good for getting their first ever points at the World Cup. First knockout win as well. I gotta say, Canada, you guys stepped up as much as you could. You guys stepped up a bunch from 2022. I don't know if it was because of the factor that you guys hosted it, or if your players just developed nicely, like Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, for half of the games for Canada, Alphonso Davies was injured. Keep in mind that. But I do think Canada, they did really well during this World Cup. Huge success, getting to the round of 16. That's where I thought they would go out personally. But yeah, then the USA. When you look at the USA, first up, Florian Balogun, tournament of his life. Pulisic. Yeah. I'm not gonna say Pulisic did a bad job at the tournament, but he didn't score a single goal.
Yeah, he did. No, but
Tillman, Balogun, those two carried. I'm not gonna lie, but Tim Ream, I'm sorry, I'm still mad at you for what you did. Same thing for Matt Freese.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That moment was just not embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I'll let you handle Mexico.
Yeah. So he just went off talking about these two. No problem with that. But Mexico, Mexico, you did a really great job in this World Cup. Round of applause to you guys. You guys deserve the most respect. I will say this though. This is like, and I kind of had a feeling that, and Mexican fans, I know I'm gonna upset you so much by saying this, but I just need to get this out. It was it's just like with Mexico, you know, like how they played, you know, like they won every game in their group stage, and then they got into the knockout stage and went as far as they did. But here's kind of the thing. Just kind of the big question is, like, what do you learn from it? You know, it's because since you win, there's nothing really you can learn from it. You can only Do you understand what I'm trying to say a little bit?
Yeah. What he's basically saying is that when you if you win games at the World Cup, you learn that your team is dominant, but you don't really learn much. Learn how to get motivation to go back into it and do better next time.
Yeah, because.
But when you look for Mexico, hang on a sec. When you look for Mexico, they got so much motivation. Home stadium, Azteca, everything. And then eventually they just lost to England in the last bit. Jude Bellingham, credit to you. You did amazing. Yeah. But I do think though, Mexico, they learned a lot from this World Cup. They learned that they were really good in home, and they need to know, and they need to learn how to contribute that to when they're playing in the next World Cup in Spain, Portugal, and Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. They need to contribute that to there in 2030. I do think though, if Mexico get a favorable draw in the next tournament, they could go pretty far. But if they don't go far, I will be shocked. I think they should at least make round of 16 minimum.
Yeah, and yeah. So just continue with what I was saying. Thank you for that. I mentioned Charlie. When you tie and when you lose, there's sort of like that, like you screwed up or you didn't play as good as you should have, you know.
It just doesn't feel that way. It gives you information how to get better. It gives you motivation.
And so that way you can take the feedback, kind of like the feedback you got in that game, you could bring it into the next game, and what can happen there is that if you're down 2 goals or something like that, from the information that your coach or your head coach gave you, you can then take that feedback and apply it to how you're playing in your next game. So if you're starting to lose, not all hope is gone. You still have a chance to come back. It's just down to how much you are you getting enough possession of the ball, and are you playing in a spot where you can make some stuff happen. I would say those are the main things.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I do think the one thing you need in soccer to win games, motivation. Motivation for sure. Yeah. Motivation, and you also need some quality in there. That's what you need to win games.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, and but overall, really exciting World Cup. I'm excited for the finals and the third place match, which I know you're not happy about.
Remove the third place game, FIFA. It is useless. Get rid of it. No one needs it. No one asked for it. First up, we don't need anything like the Olympics, like bronze medal.
But how about top? Okay, whatever. But anyways, so I'm Sam.
And I'm Charlie.
And this is Sam and Charlie's Playbook.